recap of the World Athletics Championships as far as London, England, and the Reason Boss is concerned. Like, share, subscribe as Team GB strike calamitous silver. I say calamitous because Team GB in the mixed relay 4x4 having almost certainly guaranteed a bronze medal, which the Reason Boss predicted would be the case as the race unfolded, and the likes of Germany and Belgium simply could not strike for the podium. It was a ding-dong battle between the United States of America and Femke Bol. Without Femke Bol, the Netherlands would not be pushing for gold. But gold they were indeed pushing for. It seemed as though Bol would lead the Netherlands to success, but the American was having none of it. Holmes was pushing. She said, if you want to win this race, you're going to have to see me off, stay me off. My lord, Femke Bol falls meters from the line. Baton flies out the hand. Face crashes to ground. Oh God. Who comes through? Third place. Johns of Great Britain picks up a silver, literally picks up a silver. The race was a ding-dong battle, the mother of all battles, between America, who brought in Matthew Bolling to give them some oomph. That oomph ended up and resulted with that final magnificent push by the American in a world record time. This is a fledgling event, but the Americans have stated their intent. They want gold. Like, share, and subscribe. I predicted that the Americans would be looking at, on a good day, around 33 medals, 30 being the benchmark as far as the Reason Boss was concerned. I calculated 33 at a push if everything comes together. The likes of Sha'Carri Richardson will have to find themselves on the podium for that to come to pass. But as far as the relays are concerned, America have a chance in all the remaining four. Meanwhile, the Jamaicans continue to take this mixed relays entirely not seriously. Their attempts saw them with a fine tradition, outstanding tradition in one lap relays and individual events, saw the Jamaicans floundering at the back of the field, only making a high of fifth. In their heat, they were nowhere to be seen in the final. We're looking for a bigger and better performance and return from the Jamaican team and expect more for sure. Oblique Seville looked the best to me in the 100 meters heats for men. Fred Curley stay saving and storing up his afterburners for the semi-finals and of course the final, where everyone will be looking to bring their A game. Noah Lyles, Omanyala, they looked equally impressive. I say equally. I'd have to give the edge to Oblique Seville. However, Oblique's mental strength will be tested. He has been carrying an injury and managing an injury or two this season, but he came out looking full of beans, mouth, jaws, relaxed, bouncing, almost stunned at the performance he put up. But my lord, Fred Curley was in that said heat and saw what was unfolding. He'll know what he has to do, and his intention is to do what he has to do to retain his 100 meters title. It will be a ding-dong battle. My lord. Meanwhile, talking of falls, the Dutch experienced more falls. Like, share, and subscribe. Sifan Hassan in the final of the women's 10,000 meters fell in a ding-dong battle with Segai. Segai was looking to win gold, but Hassan, looking for a treble here in the 10,000, 5,000 and 1,500 meters, said, I'm fighting for this, and my goodness me, she looked good. I did not fancy her chances, certainly in terms of going for gold here, but Segai, showed fine resolve. It was a ding-dong battle, but Sifan, looking left and right, as is her wont, she looked the left once too often. The coast was clear to the left. It was her right side that she had to be concerned about. She was knocking the chest with her arms of eventual winner Sigai, and Sigai, in a lovely gesture, shared a hug, a tender moment, a humble, humility-led moment with Hassan, who was smiling as she got up and walked to the line. She knew she had did the best she could. She knew she was in with a great shot and given herself a great shot of winning the title and certainly earning a silver medal. Except Calamity struck. And when you go down reaching for gold, you are indeed a winner. Big up yourself, Sifan Hassan. Femke BOL, without you, let me reiterate, like, share, and subscribe to Reason Boss and Rich Post Sports. Free and easy. Hit that thumbs up button and share a little strength for Rich Post Sports. No Femke BOL, the Dutch would not be in with such chances of winning a global title. That is why there was further humility shown by the Dutch team, who were not all scowled faces, but they were concerned, looking up at the big screen. What exactly went down? Femke BOL went down, but she goes up in our estimations. Will she dare run a mixed relay again? The Reason Boss believes she may well do. It could be a case of unfinished business. She looked like she was jogging the mother of all jogs in the semi-finals in the early hours of the morning. Most people would have fancied her to take that title and led home the Dutch. But the Dutch, it was one of those days. That's one of the headlines. One of those days, the Dutch, two fallers. My goodness me, when leading, two of their biggest stars fall. And instead of having 2 goals or 2 silvers or a silver and a gold, they have nothing in the medals table and nothing to take home tangible. But they have their respect and their pride, Arrested Development style, and they will be back. You can bank on that. Femke BOL has the 400 meters women's hurdles to contend with. I hope she is in fighting shape for that. She put her reputation on the line, unlike the Jamaicans, who, well, with their team selection, did not put too much on the line. They included Natoya Goul-Toppin, 800-meter potential medalist, outside bet. But, my goodness me, I didn't see pace Demish Gay. I didn't see pace. Stacey, I didn't see. Enough of that, my lord. The 100 meters looked tasty. Meanwhile, I'll tell you another guy who looked tasty. But tasty because that man can throw the mother of all throws. A championship record for Ryan Krauser of the United States of America. The world record holder, with only a short time before Budapest kicked off, had to put his hands up as he was diagnosed with blood clots in the leg. He had no clue. He had to make the decision with his family. Is it wise to fly? With blood clots, you can't take things for granted. You got to be steady as you go. Like, share, and subscribe. The heart, the passion, the desire to represent the United States of America, the desire to compete against his rivals over the years proved too strong, and he proved too strong for the field. Over 23 meters. Championship record as far as Ryan was concerned. He said it was the hardest few days of his athletics career, but this throw was as good as a world record. I love the humility of Ryan Krauser. I love the humility. Take that to the bank. Like, share, and subscribe. The likes of Jakob Ingebrigtsen, who was incredibly beaten in Eugene in the World Championships 1500 meters final by Jake Whiteman of Great Britain. One of the rare bona fide wins, a surprise win, because Jake's been running, ducking, milking, and realizing as day follows night that he struck gold, as Jacob underestimated what it took to win that particular race that day. Lessons have been learned. Jacob has been tearing it up as he tore it up in the 5,000 meters in Eugene following that shock silver medal. There was a silver lining there because he's not taking races for granted. Unlike certain people, by hook or by crook, I'm not a supporter. Let me be crystal clear. I'm in London, England, but I don't subscribe to the win a medal at any cost. I've told you once, I've told you twice, I'll tell you again. There are many in English sporting circles that are more than happy to see medals and trophies won with opponents out injured, carrying knocks, mentally unstable, by any means necessary. A fall, 2 falls, a trip. Zola Budd, Mary Decker Slaney. That's a throwback. 80s, 84. By any means necessary. No. Let me be crystal clear. As far as the reason boss is concerned, when it comes to global titles, when it comes to mano on mano, when it comes to races and tournaments and competition, bring one, bring all, bring your A game. The men's and women's 100 meters would be competitive. You can betcha that Dina Asher-Smith will be looking to podium and run her best races so she can feel proud. She loves to win, she says. She would love to win the 100 meters for women. I believe Shericka Jackson is the woman to beat. I believe Shelly-Ann Fraser will have a little too much to do following her knee injury, but she will be in the mix. And I'm praying she's in the mix because she deserves to be in the mix. Running 2:10.8 lows in the lead up. She's been nursing a knee injury, and yet her belief, her class, her speed, that pocket rocket start may not quite be there, may not. We will see as the races unfold. But if, from a British point of view, my lord, there were some injuries, some falls, some false starts, you can throw in all excuses. They'll take one, take all. They don't like the smoke. They don't like the smoke. Talking of which, can we call a spade a spade? It's the Women's World Cup final down under featuring England, the Lionesses, the European champions. Congratulations to them. They have shone and led the way as far as English women's football is concerned. And they have won a place in the final where they will meet Spain, who have been, along with Japan, my favorite 2 teams to watch. And I would love to see, personally, Spain win the World Cup final down under. But if one charts, and it's not often spoken about in English circles, but I'm going to speak, the reason boss likes to speak and tell it as it is, in his own opinion. IMO. My lord. Check out the England run, the story of the World Cup so far. A quick aside before we conclude. Back at the World Championships with the women's heptathlon. But as far as the Women's World Cup is concerned, England found themselves in a group with Denmark, a useful, solid European outfit. Haiti, first time qualifiers for Haiti in any World Cup for women. And China, not exactly pulling up the bamboo trees in world football. Well, the opening game was Haiti. England won 1-0. My lord, they were not the better team on the day. Haiti, if they had any goal-scoring boots on, would have deservedly won the game and certainly taken a point. It was a retaken penalty that got the job done for the England Lionesses. Retaken. Dumounet, the star player of the show, praised and represented Haiti. Haiti went on to play 3 and lose 3. no goals scored. It's been a bane of the Women's World Cup. The hardest thing in football, as far as the reason bus is concerned, male or female football, is to score a goal, and it has proved that way. When goals have come thick and fast, it has been a case of woeful defending, penalties being given away, tired legs, ricochets, and the odd super strike. England then went on to meet Denmark, a 1-0 victory. Solid workmanlike, but clearly a slow start by England. Then they went on to administer 6-1, I believe, thrashing of China. The Lionesses have roared. They're back. Here we go. Here we go. They then went on to the last 16, where they met Nigeria. Not fancied the Super Eagles. Nigeria, not exactly the most difficult of opponents, one would have thought. But my lord, England, 0-0, extra time, 0-0. It went to a penalty shootout. The Super Eagles were again the better team over the course of the match during normal time and into regular time. In fact, England went down to 10 women with Lauren Rees, or should I say Lauren James? My apologies. Lauren James sent off for stamping, trotting, walking over a Nigerian prone player. And yet still, the Super Eagles, when presented with the proverbial open goal, failed to capitalize. Going out on penalties, I could have said, I told you so. The luck, the fortune is in by any means necessary. England through again. Quarterfinal opponents, Colombia, not South American champions, far from it. Brazil were the South American champions. There's a link. My lord, follow it through. They met Colombia, who vanquished the Reggae Girls. Salutes to the Reggae Girls. Big up yourself, Reggae Girls, who created history in 2019, being the first Caribbean nation to make a World Cup finals for women. They then created more history with back-to-back appearances here in Australia and New Zealand in 2023. However, their tactics and approach was to play within, and yet at the height of their capabilities. They knew the best way to qualify from their group was to prove defensively sound, and the team as a whole proved to be outstandingly steely, resilient, tactically adept at making it very difficult for teams and opponents to find spaces to score. They had to take their chances, and the likes of France did not. Brazil, in a crunch game, did not. And so, with a 0-0, the Reggae Girls ensured qualification. France did themselves a favor by beating Brazil eventually. Very disappointing. Brazil 2-1. Viva France. They made their way through, where they would eventually go on to meet the Australians in a semi-finals, where again they fell short. My lord. Oh, my apologies. I knew there was a connection. Wait a minute. The French were vanquished, all right? The French were vanquished. But my lord, what a state of affairs. Sweden did for them. Yes. A penalty shootout. It's all coming back. Oh, God. Misses. Chances for glory. France, Les Bleus, you have the right to feel blue. You simply could not take your opportunities. I thought England had struck lucky, but I had missed a step. They found their luck elsewhere. For Colombia, were their quarter-final opponents, and Colombia, having taken a 1-0 lead, I thought they're looking solid. It's about being present, Jaden Hibbert style. Being present, not taking wins for granted because you've got a personal best from months ago. You've got a world-leading jump from weeks ago. It's about what you do on the day. Big up yourself, Jaden Hibbert, Jamaica's starlet teenager, 18 years old or so, a triple jump sensation, 17 meters 70. Big up yourself, Jaden. 16.99 in the first. Readjust, back up a foot, and then come to you with your run, 17 meters 70. World Athletics Championships has gems of tales worth talking about with humility. Team GB, media, take note. Humility counts. Colombia took a 1-0 lead against England. Going into half-time, all they had to do was negotiate the final couple of minutes. Going into half-time, having taken the lead, I see the English players knocking the ball about, looking adept, looking good, probing, pushing. But Colombia needed to show that steel, that determination that the Reggae Girls had shown. My lord, the ball went into the penalty area. Viewers and subscribers, when you the thought of it, like, share and subscribe, the very thought of what happened makes the reason boss cough and splutter. And the Colombian defense were spluttering and coughing as if they had a cold, a migraine, fever, influenza, the whole 9, 10, 11 yards. I've never seen such calamitous defending. Yet, it was beyond schoolboy levels. It was a schoolboy howler after howler. Defenders incapable of clearing a ball in the heart of the penalty box, near the 6-7 yard line. The keeper, finally, the Colombian keeper, decided to go for it. I said, thank goodness for that. This has been ridiculous. It's been several seconds. They seem to want England to score. Finally, the keeper will get her gloves on the ball. Her mitts will clear this thing up and she'll berate her defenders. What are you guys doing? Oh God. The Colombian keeper turned out to be the worst of the lot. Soap-like gloves. I kid you not. Soap-like gloves could simply not hold on to the ball for love nor money. Thank you very much, said England. The reason boss walked away from the TV. This game, if this is the kind of equalizer that's been given away when the big stage is under the spotlight and in the spotlight, I don't think this Colombia team is ready. They went on to lose that game 2-1. England go through to a semi-final against the Matildas, who have done their country proud. The Matildas huffed and puffed and produced one of the goals of the tournament. A stunning strike by Chelsea's Sam Kerr gave Australia some hope, but eventually the Lionesses roared and came home with a 3-1 victory. Poor defending included again helping England to get across the line, but they proved the better team and they found themselves in the final where they would meet Spain, who have been technically on point. Spain, who have had, you're talking about reasons to have excuses, they had around 15 of their players, their first teamers in the Spanish squad, go on, if not strike, taking exception to the current manager, Veleda. My lord, how does a team respond? Well, they responded in kind. Plenty of goals, beaten 4-0, though qualification was assured and confirmed in their group. They were beaten by Japan, and yet they showed their resolve to come flying back and to defeat the likes of Sweden. They have shown that they are here on merit. It's not the A-list squad for Spain, but they have gelled together and tried to be all for one and one for all. England starts as favourites, but the Spanish with Hermosa, Puteles, and an outstanding teenager, another young player, starlet, who has shone and scored important goals for Spain. Players that I'm looking forward to seeing. It will be a ding-dong battle. One hopes it could be a cagey affair. We will see. But without question or hesitation, let us be crystal clear. England have had the rub of the green, the easiest side of the draw. And Spain, in the reason boss's opinion, would be worthy winners of this World Cup. They have played the attractive football. They have played the tiki-taki affair. They have shone through real hardship. We're speaking about the likes of Lucy Bronze representing the England Lionesses. Well, let us return to track and field, where bronze was definitely the likes of Rio Mitchum's want. The likes of John, a young, I believe, youth champion in the 400 meters, maybe the 400 meters hurdles, but maybe the 400 meters. She is a face that I think we'll be seeing much of. It was a nuggety run, a solid run for bronze all the way in this fledgling 4x4. And as I said, Calamity struck. And yet we saw drama, because when you're pushing for gold, pushing for the win, when you go to your marks, on your marks, get set, go, gold is what you're looking for. If you don't get gold, you don't get your personal best, you're looking for the runners-up position, you're looking for a podium place, a medal, some hardware. The Americans deserved their gold. It was hard-earned. They didn't give it to Femke and the Dutch. The Dutch had earned their silver lining. They didn't get that because the baton out of hand, there was no medal. And Britain swept up the silver. Do I know who got the bronze? Do I know who got the eventual bronze? Sometimes things need to be put in perspective. I couldn't tell you if it was Belgium. I couldn't tell you if it was Germany. Predicted outcomes. Once again, the reason boss doesn't switch, change or rearrange. It would have been America in the mix. BOL and the Dutch, the favourites. And Team GB with the second fastest qualifying time. The team to beat for the bronze medal in a bun fight for bronze. They earned their bronze. They should be humbled as they accepted eventual silver. Viva to the United States of America. Hard-earned gold. Respect. Respect and respect. Femke, I salute you. Your indefatigability. I hope and pray that you are ready to run the 400 meters hurdles. You have shone for the Dutch. You've enjoyed working and supporting your colleagues in that mixed relay team. Jamaica, I don't know when you're going to take that game, that particular event seriously. But the men's 100 meters, which will be coming today, Sunday, the 20th, my lord, it will be hell up in Harlem. The reason boss's prediction, you want it? Fred Curley, still the man to beat. Experience, hunger, ready to do what he has to do. If anyone beats Fred Curley, they'll have done well. They'll also be crowned world champion. Oblique Seville, if his form, if his body, if his mind can stand up and hold up, he can be in the mix for gold, silver. I'm not even going to mention bronze. He's a podium placer potentially. He's a gold medalist potentially. But does he have what it takes? Fred Curley, I believe, does have the right stuff. But let us see. Jamaica, land we love, looking to strike gold. We've also got the likes of Raheed Ford, my lord, and Watson. Ance Watson, my lord, Jamaican champion. Steamer Little stage struck, being on the big stage. He was the surprise winner of the Jamaican trials. The likes of Johan Blake, so experienced, false started. But Watson finds himself at the World Championships. He is in arguably the hardest. Let me have a look. If I am correct, well, I say let's have a look. The second hardest. I'd say the second hardest group. The semi-finals draw has been made. And in the Reason Boss's opinion, let's have a look. In the Reason Boss's opinion, I've got... Heat 3, semi-finals 3. The Reason Boss has got Oblique Seville, and Fred Curley. Yes, meeting in a semi-finals, ladies and gents. I've got the both of them going through to that final. To go through, I believe, in the two fastest losers. It may be something along that order. And if that is the case, 3, 6, 9. If it's, we need to get the criteria. If it's a top 3 go through, if it's a top 3 plus the fastest loser, there are 9 lanes out there, then it could be interesting. But if I'm saying top 2, who do I think is going to be at the cutting edge? Who's got the greatest chance of going for gold? And if you don't go for gold, what the heck are you going for? You land on the podium. If you go for gold, leave it all on the track. I am going for the hardest semi-finals, being the likes of Brendan Rodney, Rohan Browning, the Australian champion, Fred Curley, the reigning world champion, Let's seal, Tobago, Botswana, oblique Seville, Reece Prescott of Britain, and the Swede Larsson, who almost got himself disqualified but was given a green flag, and he's done himself proud because he's done Sweden a favour and he's done well to make the semi-finals. A rarity for a Swede, so congratulations there. But I believe that is the hardest. That is the hardest semi-final to call. I've got Fred Curley, oblique Seville, and Tobago potentially being a fastest loser. Reece Prescott, he's got it all to do. I don't expect to see him. He's got the speed at his best to get through that race, but it's going to be a push. We shall see. The second hardest semi-final of the 3, I believe, is semi-final 1, featuring Noah Lyles, again with Omanyala. They were in the same heat, ironically, in the opening heat of the men's 100 meters. And I'm going for Omanyala of Kenya, flying the flag proudly and looking good in the heats. And Noah Lyles, his better event is the 200 meters, but he has vowed that he wants to eventually, maybe not in this championships, run around 9.65 seconds. You can dare to dream, nothing wrong with that. I think that he's going to be making the final of the men's 100 meters. He's given himself a chance. He's got that flat speed, that 100 speed, but he's got an even greater speed and resilience and strength at 200 meters. If he wants to even sniff at Usain Bolt's world record, 19.19, I don't believe that's going to be the case, but he sets high standards. It's a rarity. There are only so many runners who can speak and think in such terms. But Lyles, I believe, will get through to the final with Omanyala. That should be interesting. The likes of Sunny Brown of Japan, the fastest accountant, Dadzi. I believe that sub 10 clockings will be required. And Dadzi, you're the fastest accountant that we know of, but I think you're going to be brought to account in this semi-finals. A bridge too far, but we shall see. Maybe you can crunch the numbers somehow and find yourself in the top 2 or 3, a fastest losers calculation and calculated run. My lord, you're going to have to run like the wind to get yourself in there, but you are an accountant. Maybe you can crunch the numbers and those times. Rohan Watson, I spoke of Rohan, the Jamaican champion, surprise Jamaican champion in some circles. He is in this semi-finals. I'm not expecting him to go through, but the opportunity is there. I believe he can run faster than he did in the opening heat, and he will arguably have to. In fact, let me scratch that. He will have to. He may be looking for a fastest loser's berth. Sub 10 second clockings is a must. Coach Minzy, Halftime TV, big up yourself. I Am Sure Sports Frenzy, big up yourself. TNT, T times T, track time, big up yourself. Like, share, and subscribe to Rich Post Sports, calling it as he sees it from London, England, via Jamaica. Big up yourself. The third semi-final sees Simbini of South Africa in the Reason Boss's opinion going through with Zarnell Hughes. He has a lot of expectations riding on him. Hopes and expectations. The Reason Boss was not overly impressed with his run. He came back from a fair ways back to claim second place behind Raheed Ford. who will be a confident individual. He's going through the rounds, my lord. He's going through the rounds, and am I right? Look at that. They meet in this semi-final. Ford gets stronger as the rounds go by traditionally, and he may be in a ding-dong battle with Hughes, who should be able to go faster, and I'd expect him to go faster. Will Ford be able to stave off Zarnell Hughes? That start is the thing. Just like Noah Lyles, the start is interesting. Noah Lyles' top-end speed and his strongest aspect of the race is the back end of the race. So too, Zarnell Hughes. Will he leave himself too much to do come the final? Will he have expended too much energy? We shall see. That semi-final will reveal much and go a long way to determining, in the Reason Boss's opinion, who the 100 meters champion will be later this evening. It'll be a tasty one. I'm going for Sambini and Hughes, Zarnell Hughes, to go through in that semi-final. Matidi, Christian Coleman is in that semi-final. We've not seen the best of Christian Coleman for a while, and despite looking like he's got his blistering start almost back, it's not back sufficiently, and the tail end of his race sees him oftentimes now tailing off. He may realize as this race unfolds that he'll be up against it. You can see the likes of Ford being ahead of him. Maybe Zarnell may not be ahead of him, but he can expect that roaring Glenn Mills inspired Rolls Royce of an engine to purr and blaze on through and past him. And if he does catch him out of the corner of his eyes, that could be all she wrote psychologically for the likes of Christian Coleman. So Omanyala and Lyles to go through in the heat. Top two I'm talking about. If there's a bun fight for the third place, no problem at all. Mr. Watson, race with Dodsey. I see Simbini and Hughes going through, with Rahid fighting for potential fastest loser's slot. And in the third semi-final, I am going for Oblique Seville and Fred Curley, who were, have mercy, drawn in the same heat. Lightning strikes twice. Who will it strike for 3 times? We shall see. Like, share, and subscribe. A quick word on the women's heptathlon. KJT for Team GB should be down as one of my list of medalists for Team GB, who I predict will be getting around 9 medals. However, their hopes were dashed in the long jump, with Jasmine Sawyer crashing out, the European champion, a 7-meter jumper at her absolute best, crashing out. She didn't make too many excuses. She had been carrying a knock or two, but she felt good on the day, and that's key. When you get to the big championship, she said, you've got to produce your best. You should be bringing out the best that you have and rising to the occasion. I liked the cut of her jib. She was not offering a bag of excuses, though, of course, the British media would be more than happy to lap it all up and say, pat on the back. Never mind, they've got a team of around 54, 55 out there. Their emphasis is on medals. The World Championships in Eugene saw Team GB with around 80 or so athletes. They've taken the bold, and controversial in some people's eyes decision to go with athletes, the Elliot Gileses, the Gawleys, who have got chances, the Sawyers, who have got chances of making the podium in Budapest, as opposed to giving opportunities to athletes on the cusp looking to make a breakthrough and a statement on the world stage. This is not the time for ifs and buts. It's a call and a case of bring those who are ready, known quantities. Well, these known quantities are looking for medals. The Reason Boss predicts around 9. That could be the case. The mixed relay brought 1 for Team GB, which I predicted amongst the 9. It was a bit of a lottery, to be honest. Anyone can come and claim virtually a potential medal, and they, as I said, were looking for medals. They sniffed it, they got it. A bronze upgraded to a silver, but where this race is concerned, the reason boss predicts Zarnell Hughes has another chance. I've got him down for the 100 and 200 meters potential medal, particularly in the 100 meters. And this is where the semi-finals will be particularly tasty. What will Zarnell do? It's podium or bust as far as the likes of Michael Johnson is concerned. This could be the best chance of Zarnell Hughes striking for gold. The reason boss believes that he's got a very good chance, but he's got to produce because the big boys are in town. The big boys are in town and they are not cowed by 9.83. I say that, but the proof will be in the pudding. Zarnell has a chance of hitting the podium. But as Dodsey, the accountant, would tell you, 4 or 5 doesn't go into 3 without leaving a remainder, without leaving a tear in the eye, unless it's a dead heat. So if I say Curly, Seville, Lyles, somebody's going to be left out. Could there be a dead heat? Could there be a dead heat? Barshim, Tamberi, type, country. We shall see. My lord, my lord. Big up yourself, Hall. Big up yourself, Hall. The heptathlon has had its thrills and spills. The likes of Sulek and Tiam, of course, the outstanding heptathlete from Belgium, missing, injury, knocks and concerns, gearing up for Paris and the Olympic Games. We wish them both speedy recoveries and safe recoveries. We want to see the very best on show. It's patent that Hall looks the best on show, came to the world stage only last year, and Eugene and the Americans have been pushing in the heptathlon. But really and truly, as day follows night, KJT, one of the fancied medalists for Team GB, will be in the hunt. Can she beat Hall? Can you bring it? The margins are around 90 odd points. Let us see. It could be a ding-dong battle. I am fancying Hall to get the job done, but if KJT wants to bring it, it's a great opportunity. There's been injuries. There's been withdrawals, disappointing performances. That's the kind of environment where Team GB thrives. Get yourself some humility. Put some seeds into the ground. Team GB and the British media, you know who you are. You know who you are. It's not all and sundry. You know who you are. Viewers and subscribers, like, share, and subscribe. You know who you are. You are sporting fans. And I salute. Enjoy day 2 of the World Athletics Championships from Budapest, Hungary. An honorary mention. I say honorary. Big up yourself. Big up yourself. Martin. My brother's name is Martin. Martin, big up yourself. Released his single. His first single. My lord, yes. Great Productions, big up yourself. Look out for it online. Click it. Great Productions. Martin Stevens, big up yourself. Martin, proud as punch. I raise a mug to you. Absolutely stellar. But Martin of Spain won the first world title, one of 49 on offer in the men's 20-kilometer walk. Of course, day 1 started off with a bag of rain, a deluge of rain. Much work was done in the 36,000-seater stadium. And of course, the race had been delayed when they eventually got on the way. A Japanese led the early encounters over halfway. He was still in the lead, but that lead eventually gave way to Martin. Martin took a delightful gold medal in the 20-kilometer walk. It was silver for Sweden. We've got, what's his name? Larsson for Sweden in the semi-finals 3 of the men's 100 meters. Well, Karlström took a silver, a well-earned silver. He's got an awkward walking style. Looks like he's almost hobbling. But my lord, his style proved productive, and it was a silver medal for Sweden and a bronze to Guess who? Bronze went to Brazil. Like, share, and subscribe. More medals on show. All roads lead to the men's 100 meters final. The women will be in action, and they will be looking to produce the fireworks too. Sharika Jackson, the woman to beat. Will Sha'Carri Richardson overcome her hamstring injury? Will she overcome the mental ghosts and that challenge? She has said she's delighted and happy to have been an athlete, quote unquote, this year, running on the circuit, winning the US trials, and now she's going toe to toe with Sharika Jackson, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price, Mary Jose Talou of the Ivory Coast, Dina Asher Smith. Mouth-watering prospect. Like, share, and subscribe. Who will come out on top? I don't think we'll see a Jamaican having to run against a Brazilian and push too hard. It's going to be Jamaica, America, and GB, with Ivory Coast having a big say in matters. Like, share, and subscribe. Talou, toodaloo! Team GB, toodaloo! Who are you? Like, share, and subscribe. Rich Poe Sports, big up yourself. Proud of you.